Welcome back to MFO, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. On today's episode, we're going to talk about jig trailers. Which jig trailer do you use, and do you use it throughout the year, or do you change depending on the season? My suggestion is you might want to think about, now that it's becoming fall, you might want to think about some different types of jig trailers to use when you're out there fishing in the fall season. We'll talk more about that when we come back. Stick around, guys. Welcome back to Mark Fisher Outdoors, everybody. I'm Mark Fisher. Before I get into jig trailers, I just real briefly, for the last time here, want to remind you we have our bobber pull contest finishing up this week. Today's basically the last video that I have to put it out there. If you haven't, please go to the description page of this video, click the GoFundMe link, and make your contribution to Elite Veteran Outfitters. Remember, for every $5 donation that you make, you're going to get a bobber that we're going to put in the pool. We're going to be showing you that video on Monday. We're going to be jumping in the pool, picking out winners. Every person who makes a donation, I guarantee, will get some kind of a prize. First place is that Daiwa reel with that St. Croix rod that's provided by 2JS Industries. Second place, we actually have two second place winners, two $100 gift certificates to Twin Lakes Marine. Third place is about $75 worth of product from Core Tackle. We've got hats, we've got clothing, we've got all sorts of products from Mercury Marine, Phoenix Boats, just a bunch of stuff. We've got prizes for everybody. We appreciate Rebel Fin providing the bobbers. It's going to be a good time. Make sure you tune in on Monday. But before that, please make sure you go to the GoFundMe page link on the description. Send in your donation. Help Elite Veteran Outfitters getting veterans on fishing and hunting trips. We really appreciate all the support, guys. All the support. We're only about $500 away from reaching our goal. We've got about $2,000 raised. Our goal was to try and raise $2,500. So you can really help this weekend by getting that donation in. We appreciate that. Let's talk about jig trailers, okay? So I'm going to show you, this is a typical jig that I would be throwing, and what I've got on here is a Rage Craw, and I like throwing these in the summer. And the reason that I throw these, it's a nice big kind of profile bait, but when this bait flutters down in the water, these tails kick, and I'm going to show you that, and you're going to see as it's coming down, that kicking action of those tails. To me, in the summer, that is more of an attractant in terms of drawing strikes. That bait, as it comes down, is swimming down, and I just feel like that gives you the full presentation. From the minute that bait hits the water, it's swimming. When you pop it, hop it, run it along the bottom, those tails are giving you some action, and that is the bait that I want in the summer when those fish are actively feeding and it's drawing that attention. However, it's becoming fall, and now that that cooler water is starting to creep in, I'm going to start to tame down the action on my trailers. And we've talked about this before on the channel. At this point, as I start to see the water temperatures go down, I'm going to switch to more of a chunk style trailer. This happens to be a Zoom Super Chunk Junior, and there are other chunk type baits. I like the Rage Tail chunks. I also am a big fan of the Packet chunks, okay? But any chunk style bait, as it falls, it's giving you less action on the fall. It's pretty much a straight kind of fall, or maybe what I call kind of a flapping kind of a fall. And then when the bait sits on the bottom and you kind of move it, it just kind of, again, that you got that flapping kind of motion or that undulating kind of motion, much less aggressive than with your swimming tail type trailers. And as the water starts to cool, I have just found that the chunk style baits are actually more effective in the colder temperatures. And so because it's fall, we're in that transition period. I'm going to have them both going, and I'm going to kind of see which one is working better. There will be a time, there will be a trip where I'm noticing this is really working better than the other. And that's pretty much the time that I switch over completely. So if you're throwing a jig and you're typically throwing this type of a trailer and it isn't working, you might want to think about switching over to a chunk style bait and see if that doesn't do the trick for you. Guys, we appreciate you tuning in. We hope you have a great weekend. We absolutely want to make sure that you tune in on Monday. It's going to be a gas. We're going to have a lot of fun. But have a good weekend, guys. See you on Monday. Take care, everybody.